JBL's legendary Charge 5 speaker just got a successor, and it's a good one. This is the brand new Charge 6, and JBL isn't holding back with this refresh. They've provided even longer battery life and an improved version of the all-important power bank feature that quite literally gives this speaker its name. But the upgrades don't stop there. They've tweaked the design for better durability, boosted the sound with a more advanced EQ, and there's even this slick new removable handle for easy carrying. If you've been wondering whether it's time to upgrade your portable sound, or if you're just curious what a $200 JBL speaker really delivers these days, you're in the right place. As someone who's tested a ton of speakers, mostly in the sub $150 range, I was genuinely excited when JBL offered to send this slightly higher end speaker over for review, since I wanted to figure out whether the hype around the Charge series was real or not. And as a big fan of the JBL Flip 6 and the new JBL Flip 7, I'm excited to see what this truly brings to the table. Now, if you wind up liking what you see, you can find affiliate links down below the like button, and now let's jump in. Starting with the build and design, the Charge has a bit of a unique shape. It sort of resembles a slightly overinflated cylinder with an oversized base at the bottom. The wide base does a great job of giving it a stable footing and preventing it from rolling away. Beneath that bottom bulge are two soft rubber cushions to absorb vibrations and keep the speaker from sliding. On the sides, you'll see JBL's popular passive radiators, which dance along with your music and move quite a bit of air to provide the deep bass the speaker's capable of. Around those radiators are some more rubber bumpers to provide protection against drops and to allow you to stand this speaker up without losing too much of the sound, though standing it up with this shape looks a little bit sillier than it does with the JBL Flip. Resembling the top of a castle, these side protections have been enhanced from the Charge 5, now having 4 raised sections instead of 3. This, along with some other durability improvements, help to earn the speaker a drop-proof rating of 1 meter, meaning that you can drop this from over 3 feet directly onto a concrete floor and it will, quote, keep kicking. Now, I'm not going to test this personally, and I'd recommend that you don't try it at home, at least not on purpose, not least of which because even if it is still kicking, that doesn't mean you're not going to pick up a few bumps and bruises along the way. The majority of that body that might get banged up on those drops is covered in 100% recycled fabric, surrounding 85% recycled plastic, which is pretty cool. I am obsessed with this white color. Depending on the lighting, it varies between white, gray, or even a little bit tan, but it always looks really awesome in my opinion. In addition to this white, there are black, red, blue, purple, and green camo options available. The front is adorned with the JBL logo, which has a two-tone design to give it some added depth. Beneath that is a battery meter, which goes down as your battery drains, though I don't find it to be the most useful feature. If you want a more precise battery number, you'll have to boot up the JBL Portable App, which you might need to do since one time I looked at the light, and based on what I was seeing, I assumed the battery was pretty much full, only to go into the app and see that it was at 73%. So you're not going to get precision with the light, but it'll at least tell you if you're closer to full or closer to dead. On top sit 2 rows of controls, which have been split out from the single row used on the previous model. The split was done to make room for the metal hooks, which are used with the included carry strap to make your Charge into a purse. I mean, into a more portable speaker. Jokes aside, I actually think that it is super useful in this primary configuration if you're regularly carrying it around. It can be a bit large to pick up, especially if you've got small hands. You can also attach them both to the same hook to provide a tighter loop to use with a carabiner or in some type of hanging configuration. On the back, unlike many other speakers that place their USB ports under waterproof doors, JBL's port itself is waterproof and they keep it right out in the open. In fact, JBL even achieved a higher IP68 water and dust proof rating, slightly higher than the IP67 that has been pretty standard on their previous models and on other Bluetooth speakers when we typically refer to them as waterproof. The only real difference that you get with IP68 is that you can go a little bit deeper in water for a little bit longer. This model can go up to 1.5 meters underwater for a period of 30 minutes. Again, not going to test it, and you still shouldn't jump into a pool like this UE Boom Psycho. I'm never going to let that one go. But if it does fall into a pool, you can rest assured it won't get fried. And perhaps even more importantly, you can rinse it off if it gets dirty, which could be critical, especially if you opt for this white version. Internally, there's a single 30-watt woofer and a 10-watt tweeter, which can hit a total peak power of 45 watts. The woofer is a couple millimeters larger than the last generation, while the tweeter remains the same size. The result is an incredible audio experience. Great bass while still having crisp, clear vocals. Now, I already fell in love with the audio from the JBL Flip 6 and the new Flip 7. This just continues that while beefing it up with the added size. Here's a quick demo and a comparison to the Flip 7.
To tell me you're no good, I'm brushing away the weight of you, of my shoulders. Done with my cigarette, and when all the smoke is clear, I'm brushing away the weight of you, the weight of you, the weight of no man.
Both of these speakers sound great. The Charge, though, has much more bass compared to the smaller Flip, and it can also get significantly louder. But it's not just a bassy mess. The high end is still crisp and clear, making for a really nice audio experience overall. And for most people, that's probably enough. But for those who want just a little bit more, there's some other interesting things to note here. First is EQ adjustments. The out-of-the-box sound for the speaker is already pretty solid, but if you'd like to tweak it personally, you've now got a 7-band EQ to do so rather than the old 3-band one. This is an awesome change for the audiophiles among you, or for people who just really love heavy bass or other specific audio setups. Now, since 7 bands can be a little bit intimidating, here is my setup, the one that suited my ear personally. If you try it out, let me know what you think. Next, JBL introduced a new AI sound boost. This was also brought to the Flip 7, and it claims to analyze your music in real time to deliver maximum acoustic performance with less distortion. This is not something that you can turn off, so it's pretty much impossible to tell what, if anything, it's actually doing to improve the audio. The speaker sounds good, and there's not a lot of distortion at high volumes, so maybe we have AI to thank for that. Or maybe AI is in the product description simply to make investors happy. I'm not going to be the one to tell you which one of those is right. Finally, the Charge 6 supports lossless audio, which is an ultra high quality audio playback method that avoids the small amounts of data loss during the audio compression process that you get with other file types. Just like with other speakers that support lossless, you have to have your speaker plugged into your audio source to use it. You also need a music service that includes support for lossless, like Apple Music or Tidal. And you specifically need a song on that service that is in the lossless format. And even then, many people probably wouldn't really be able to tell the difference. So for most folks out there, this feature probably isn't super relevant. In terms of portability, you can definitely take this speaker with you, but it is certainly not portable focused. The Charge 6 is big. It's not going to be as grab and go as something like the Flip 7, which can easily be tossed into just about any sized bag. However, if you've got a bigger beach bag or a duffel bag or a backpack without a whole lot else in it, you can certainly take this thing on the go without too much fuss. With the added power of the Charge 6, this speaker is great for an outdoor barbecue, picnic, or tailgate, giving you that extra boost while being cheaper and less cumbersome than some of the more massive party speakers available today. When you're rocking out of that tailgate, the great thing is that you won't have to worry much about your battery. In fact, this speaker is called the Charge specifically because of its battery features. Now, the battery in the Charge 6 is about 25% larger than the previous generation, resulting in an improvement from 20 hours of use to 24 hours of use on a single charge. It takes about 3 hours to charge this thing up, and it can fast charge, getting you over 2 hours of use from just a 10-minute charge. It can also serve as a battery bank, which is a great use of that extra beefy onboard battery. So if you're on the go and need to top up your phone, you can simply plug it into the same USB-C port on the back and get some juice. This is a change from the previous Charge 5, which had a USB-C port for power in and a USB-A port for power out. On this model, the same USB-C port on the back serves for both power in and out. Much more reasonable in today's environment where USB-C is taking over just about everything. Also related to charging, JBL made the interesting call with their latest models, including the Flip 7 and the Charge 6, to remove charging cables from the box. This is extra ironic for a product that's literally called the Charge. But anyway, if you need a USB-C cable, I've got a couple videos with recommendations, which I'll link below, and I'll link directly to my favorite cables from each brand as well, if you simply want to trust my judgment. Previously on the channel, I tested the latest Beats pill, which can also serve as a battery bank. In addition to charging a phone, that model has the ability to accept charge from a phone via reverse charging and to be plugged in without doing any charging for wired playback, for example. The JBL is not capable of those features, at least not from what I can tell. While it can do wired playback, it isn't able to accept charge from a phone or to be plugged in without doing charging. There's 2 rows of buttons on the top of the speaker, all of which have a nice satisfying click to them. The first set controls volume and provides a play-pause button, which can also be used to skip forward and skip back in your tracks. These buttons are integrated into the outside fabric with a raised symbol that helps you locate them by touch. The second set of buttons have their own little panel differentiating them and have some backlighting to help you see them in the dark. These include your power button, the Bluetooth pairing button, and an Auracast button, which is used to pair multiple speakers together. More on that in a moment. Typically, somewhere around these buttons would be the location of a speaker's microphone and maybe some buttons to use with speakerphone calls or with your phone's smart assistant. This speaker, however, does not have any onboard microphone, so you won't find any of that here. This speaker connects to the JBL Portable App for a few extra features. The app allows you to control your EQ settings, which I mentioned can really help you to fine-tune your audio. It also provides access to the Playtime Boost feature, which you can use to extend your battery life as high as 28 hours or 4 hours longer than the normal maximum. This feature works by substantially reducing the low end of your audio, since heavy bass requires a lot of power to produce. It then increases the overall volume to give the illusion that the speaker didn't actually get quieter when it took out the low end. It sort of tricks your brain and actually sounds a lot better than some similar battery-saving features that I've tried on Sony. I still wouldn't use it personally because it's a big miss to not have the tremendous low end that this speaker is capable of, but if you are desperate for as much longevity as you can get out of this speaker, it's nice to have it as an option. And in the event that your speaker sounds terrible, double check in the app that you didn't turn this feature on by mistake. You can also use the app to manage the pairing of multiple speakers with Auracast. It's important to note that Auracast is the new multi-speaker connection system used by JBL, and that this speaker can't pair with any older models that use the Party Boost feature. That means that unfortunately you can't pair this new Charge 6 with an older Charge 5. For that reason, if you have a lot of old JBL speakers and you regularly use Party Boost, you may want to pick up a Charge 5 while you still can. You may be able to find one on a discount now since the new model is released, and right now I saw it listed for $140, which is a pretty good price. The last things on the app are some settings to rename your speaker, toggle off the sounds it makes when you turn it on and when you pair devices, and to update the firmware. One notable thing that's missing within the app are power controls. I'd love to be able to turn the speaker on and off from the app like you can with the UE Boom app. I'd also like to be able to control the amount of time it remains idle before turning off. The speaker seems to stay on for a very long time when not in use, which would be my preference compared to it turning off way too quickly, but there have been a couple occasions where I didn't realize it was still on and connected to my phone after it had been idle for a really long period of time. Then the only remedy is to find the speaker and physically power off the speaker with the power button. That's one of the few things that JBL can improve that would really go a long way. The JBL Charge 6 retails for $200, right on par with its 2 closest competitors, the UE Megaboom 4 and the Sony Ultfield 3. This is the right price point for this speaker. It's more powerful than the $150 speakers you'll find like the JBL Flip 7, while still being portable enough to be your everyday speaker. The key differentiators are the incredible sound, which feels way stronger than this size speaker should be capable of. It's got great JBL style. This white color in particular is sweet, and I'll never get tired of watching the side radiators bounce up and down. The loud sound output makes this great for outdoors without needing to lug around a massive party speaker. The battery life is superb, and the battery bank functionality can be a huge differentiator for some people. Finally, the improved 7-band EQ gives you so much more control to fine-tune your audio preference. For potential deal breakers, some people won't be happy with the lack of a microphone. The change to Auracast could rule this out if you specifically want to pair it with some older JBL models. Finally, the app could be improved with some better power management features, though that's much more of a nice to have. Overall, this speaker is great. It's powerful, beautiful, and ready to rock out to your favorite tunes whenever you are. If you'd like to pick one up, there's affiliate links in the video description. You can find other great speaker content right here. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.